So what I'm gonna do now is just do a quick introduction to Noctis, in case anyone wants to pick him up. From what I've heard, Ranked is suddenly swamped by Noctises doing Aura, and if I have anything to do with this, I'm sorry. Most likely. But I think we could just take a look at Noctis, what he's good at, what is he bad at. So not a full character guide, but in a nutshell, little breakdown of the character. So what is Noctis good at? Noctis is really good at backing away, standing over here, and becoming a StarCraft siege tank, basically, using long-range attacks, like for example 4-2, which is very steppable, but has unlimited range, I think, and turns into a throw. And it's a mid, and it's perfectly safe, it's only -9. Do know that you will end up right next to your opponent, and this is the most important thing with Noctis. It's basically, he changes the game quite a bit. We're gonna go into the basics of Noctis first. Aura, for example, at the furthest range, this range, it pretty much cannot be sidestepped or sidewalked. It's going to launch people. At this range, they can step it if they step very precisely. At this range, it is incredibly steppable, and it's -16. So Aura is never used at this range, because here most characters can punish it, well, a lot of characters at least, and it doesn't track. Whereas if you use it from here, it does track and it's perfectly safe. No character, due to the pushback, can punish this from this range. So that's how you use the Aura. So what I wanted to say with the forward 2 is that you lose your positioning, because he rolls forward and you end up at -9 right next to your opponent. And I, with Noctis, like to stay away from the opponent, because, well, point 2, major point with Noctis, he's very weak to pressure. Why is this? Well, he doesn't even have a basic dick jab, a ducking jab to get out of pressure. That's a really good tool to have. And he doesn't have any evasive panic moves. He has down forward 2, which crushes a bit. He ducks down here, as you can see. And that's really good. It will crush highs. But the problem is that it's -20. And it honestly doesn't crush that well. So that's very risky to do. And now Stonda says he has a parry. Yeah, he does have a parry, but that's also very risky, because if you fail the parry, you could eat a launcher. How do you enter that cinematic mode? It's called NVIDIA Ansel. You haven't seen this before? NVIDIA Ansel, dude. It's really good to have. But, so, pressure problem for Noctis. People who know what they're doing are gonna be in your face like this. You will not have a dick jab. You can do a dick jab from crouching, but that's it. You cannot down 1 or down back 1. This is super risky. So what you rely on when people are this close, you might want to go for a parry, but more often than not, you turn into a Kazuya player. Duck, punish a high, sidestep, whiff punish, backdash away. Noctis is a super easy, super skanky character once you're allowed to be in this range. Oh my god, the douchebag he is. And so cheesy. But when you're faced against strong opponents and they force you to play at this range, ooh, very difficult. Noctis suddenly goes from easy mode character to a difficult character. So that in essence is who Noctis is. So he's got the pretty much safe launcher here. Strong 50-50 with Aura is 25 frames fast, is 24. It's basically the same speed as Heihachi's down back 2. players with incredibly fast reflexes can block down back 2 on reaction. 90% of players cannot. They just simply cannot. It's exactly in that frame range where moves start to become reactable. But most people cannot take this on reaction. There's a myth going around that Noctis is an online slayer. And he is, but down back 2, in offline, you can see Koreans, Cherry Berry Mango, use this. Most people eat it. They cannot block it on reaction. That's the case offline as well. But especially online, he's quite deadly with the aura and... is minus 19, so if it's blocked, a good player is going to launch you. But do keep in mind when you play Noctis that the range is just enormous. So try use it from far away like this. And some people, when they block it from that range, their punish will whiff. So keep that in mind. It's very much a positioning game with Noctis. You want your siege tank to be at the optimal position. The next move we're gonna mention is while running 1+2. Believe it or not, this move is plus 11 on block. So you have to run into it. It's a tad slow. They can jab you out of it. But huge range. Huge range, as you can see. And it's hard to step. You don't want to even try and step it most of the time, honestly. And when it does connect, it's a launcher. Natural hit launcher. So it's a very, very strong move. But remember, you can be jabbed out of it. But honestly, these 3 moves, mixing aura while running 1+2, and you already have quite a strong package, as you've seen in my videos. But and forward 2, of course. So he really has the siege tank features here. But we're also gonna mention that his poking, while not amazing, is actually okay. It's actually okay. His downward 1 is 13 frames. It's -1 on block. It's not too bad. The range is not super good, but it's not bad either. So that's pretty good. For low poke, he has a down 3. Unfortunately, you're at disadvantage on hit. It's -2 on hit, so nothing spectacular at all here, although the range is pretty good. And as you can see, he does crush quite a bit when he uses this move. Quite a bit. But unfortunately, it's -13. So Kazuya and Eddie, they will launch this. They will launch it, so you have to be careful. But he has a crouch, full crouch down for 2. This low is amazing. Although you don't see me use it too much, because his lows are a lot like Lars. You know, they are buddies. Well, their lows are quite similar. Lars down 1+2 is this down back 2. Same knockdown, although this move is much better. And then Lars has full crouch down forward 1+2, his best low. Noctis has pretty much the same low in full crouch down forward 2. This is +4 on hit. It's really, really good, and you can do several in a row like this if you want to. And as you can see, he ducks down, so he crushes highs. It's a good move, just like Lars. Full crouch down for 1+2. He stays hunched over when he does it. So that's a good low. He has a demo man, but this is risky as fuck to do. I would refrain completely from using this. The only time you should be using this is basically when you do a combo. Let's see. I'm gonna do a combo and take him to the wall. And if he tech rolls, bang, we'll use it. Because if they tech roll there, or if they stand up next to a wall, with their back towards the wall, and we are right next to them, this will always do clean hit, and you don't have to worry about it whiffing. Range is super short, if it hits from that range, not a clean hit, they will launch you for it. So I would just refrain from using this, other than in the situation I just gave you next to the wall, where it works really well and does a huge chunk of damage, 38. So I would say that's it for his lows. But more on poking, you have the down forward 1. You have a really good string, in my opinion. You know Kazuya back 2-4? He basically has a similar string. Down forward 4-2. His down forward 4 here is only 14 frames. It's super fast. And this is a natural combo. Down forward 4-2 for 29 damage. That's a pretty decent chunk of damage. And it's perfectly safe. This is even good on block. I think it's only -2. Really good on block. The second hit can be ducked, but almost no one does that. And you can add moves to this. You can do 2 different free hit strings. This is high at the end and completely safe. And this adds his up forward 2, and it's completely safe. And it's a mid launcher. It's a great string. I might as well cover up for 2. It's an orbital. Perfectly safe on block. This move is very steppable though. So it's not like this move and Ora where it tracks a lot. This is steppable, but it's a safe mid launcher that low crushes. And it's not super slow. So pretty good stuff. More on poking, we have oh, I love this string. Forward 4, mid kick, safe. You can add a 2 to that for a natural combo string that's wall splats. And this string is only -11. You'd think it's like -12 or 13, but it's only -11. So for example, if you're facing Asuka, she will get no punish whatsoever on this. Like only a jab, I think. 0. So yeah, don't underestimate that string. It's really nice. Sidestep 2 is it's 0 on block, so it's actually good on block. On a hit, it's plus frames. Excellent range, great move. On counter hits, knockdown into guaranteed follow-up. So it's really good. Someone mentioned down back 4, but I don't know, I don't have a patience for this. Such low damage. I want this, yeah. Might as well explain that if you do hit down back 2, nothing is guaranteed afterwards, even at the wall. But if they try and move, the spear will always connect, no matter what they do. Even if it just roll on the ground, the spear will connect. And if you hit from point blank range, you can down back 2 again. They can quick stand to low block it, but they have to be very precise in how they stand up and block it. Most people won't be that precise, and you'll get another down back 2. You can side roll it though, but yeah, if you aura, it will connect on side rollers. So that's good to know. And on poking, the 1+2 is a homing move, it's not a poke. It does huge damage, 41, enormous range, natural combo. But this is a pretty good poke. 1+2, hold back, and he will cancel it. And it's pretty good. Pretty good homing. Samuel Fury, thank you so much for the resub, man. I really appreciate it, my friend. My Swedish brada. And thanks so much for the beer money, man. Of course it's gonna go towards beer. I'm a Viking, not a piece of shit. Thank you. Upward 1 is a great poke as well. It's a counter hit launcher. like so. And it's like -3 on block, I think. It's pretty good on block. It's a great move. Do not underestimate this move. It's amazing. The classic is doing aura into this. After the aura, they run into that one. So you can mix these two up a little bit. Great counter hit launching tool. And we're gonna have to mention his punishment for 10 frame 1-2, like a Mishima. It's also +1, like the Mishima 1-2, so not enormous advantage here. If you do if you follow that with down forward 1, their jab will interrupt you. So don't be too careless with that. But it's still a good punish, 27 damage. For 12 frame, back 1-2 for huge damage and great frames. It's +7 this. So here you can do whatever you want afterwards, and they have to respect you. So it's a great move. And then for his 15 frame, he has the longest range 15 frame punish in the game. And it's super easy to do. Down for 2. It would be the best 15 frame punish in the game if it wasn't for the fact that it's -20. So if this is blocked, every character in the game can launch you. But we're gonna have a hard time doing so because it's so quick. You have to react so quickly to it, like, oh, down for 2. So unless you spam this at all times, it's gonna be hard to punish it. But don't underestimate expert players, of course. Oh, and for while standing punishment, we have while standing 1-2. This is 13 frames. If this would have been 12 frames, it would be awesome, but it's not. Then we have while standing 2-2. Is this 15? I'm unsure of the frames. I think it's 15. Someone will have to correct me. I think it's 15. Is it 14 even? No, that's 15. Come on, that's 15. I forgot to mention a key poke that I even use a lot. Down back 1 is a safe mid, but you can add and even delay a little bit 1+2 afterwards. For a natural combo, 24 damage, and it's +6. Downward 4-2 that I mentioned earlier is also +6, just like Kazuya back 2-4. So if these connect, you have great frames. I like to do this +6 into this uninterruptible. A lot of people like to press after this. So I just downward 4-2 into another +6. So he does have some pretty... I like many of his pokes. Is it hit confirmable? Man, I don't know actually. We'll test it. It doesn't seem like it. It's not hit confirmable. UFI, you're correcting me on a lot of frames. I got all of my frames from Norway frame data or whatever it's called. Are you sure they are incorrect? But just remember that UFI there is being a wise ass and he's correcting me with everything. Just know that it doesn't matter if it's 1 or 2 frames off. +6 or +8 it's still a huge advantage where you're just not going to get interrupted unless you do aura, something super slow. We have to mention forward 1+2. It's almost a perfect move. It's long range, it's mid, it's homing, it's a counter hit launcher. Did I say it's safe? Safe mid, counter hit launcher, -9. So this move is almost, it's pretty much a perfect move. But the problem is we are playing Noctis. So it's a great move, but you give up your positioning. You end up at the worst possible position, right next to your opponent. Although a classic setup is this on block into parry. A lot of people press after this and his parry will catch them. Unless they do a perfect jab, I think that will beat the parry. But this is a great move. It really is. I think I've covered most of the character. I can show some combos quickly, although I'm sure you've seen them. Classic combo. Classic combo. Remember to do this for good ground game. If you end a combo with this, his high damage options, you recover very slowly. So this is recommended if you want to pressure the opponent. For example, counter hit up forward 1, we just down forward 1+2. Up forward 2, down forward 1+2. It's always down forward 1+2, pretty much. Always down forward 1+2. Aura, down forward 1+2. It's you're basically always doing the same combos. His forward 4. This is one of the best setup tools in the game, in my opinion. It's so fucking dumb. What happens here is that they fall down like this. Like this. Paul is lying on the ground, and over here we have Noctis. If Noctis does down forward 2, as soon as they recover here, it will connect on Paul. If he rolls on... No, wait, not if he rolls on the ground. If he tries to stand up. Well, sometimes it actually hits them when they roll on the ground as well. But if Paul tries a get-up kick or stand up or anything like that, he gets launched by down forward 2. Like so. It's a super classic setup. So okay, we have forward 4, use it in combos. Down forward 2 will launch if they stand up or do a get up kick. And then of course, oh, what do they do, your opponents, when you start doing that? They lay down on the ground like this. And that's when you aura them. You just wait a little bit. What is he doing? And if he tries to stand up, the aura will launch him. If he rolls on the ground, the aura will hit him. It's... look at my ranked sessions with Noctis and you'll see what I do after forward 4. And it's just a disgusting situation. It really is disgusting for the opponent. Can I set him actually to roll on the ground? That's side roll. Yeah, okay. So this is what I do. I do hoop, hoopuchi. And most people side roll here. So we wait a little bit, and then you place the aura for a full launch. Wait for them to finish the roll. You'll see me do this in ranked all the time. Wait, hit him. It really is disgusting. So this covers Noctis. So again, it's all about positioning. Do the aura mix up from here. Upward 1 is great. Try and hit them as they're coming in. Throw in 4-2 just once in a while, just for them to know that you are crazy Noctis. You're insane. You'll do that. He can't download you, you know, you're unpredictable. Sometimes 4-2 comes. So he has to keep that in mind. Poking is okay. It's not terribly bad. You know, we have some stuff here. Try and use it. Sidestep 2. Remember, wall running 1+2, great move. This move is great. Use. Oh yeah, throws. You have a command throw, back 1+2. Pretty okay. The great thing about it is that the input is simply back 1+2, like all easy characters. Just back 1+2, and you're good to go. So yeah, pretty decent throw. Yeah, I think that's Noctis actually. Yeah, okay, I didn't mention upward 3. It's basically it doesn't crush like Lars upward 3. This is, even if the animation has a teleport, you know, when it hits, it's a normal hopkick. 15 frames, I think. Or is it slightly slower? The hop kick is not super good. The hitbox is kind of clunky, to be honest. So there, I'd rather use orbital, oroche, and when you want to punish, downward 2. Oh, it's 17 frames. Oh, it's not good. But of course, it will crush lows. But you do have this, you know, and you do have this, mister. You do have this. That's plus 11. But you're gonna need a good while running forward input. Spear is a huge range mid that look at the range. The only thing I use this for is here and in combos. So again, you see, if I do a down back 2 and into spear and they side roll, it misses. But down back 2 into down back 2 hits someone who side rolls. Aura will also hit, so you're always at a good position. But the spear is launch punishable, so don't use this. Don't throw it out like this. I remember when Noctis had just been released and everyone was using this as a mid knockdown tool. Everyone thought it was so good that it guaranteed a shoulder or something. But yeah, we just don't use this. It's way too punishable. It's way too clunky. But that's gonna be it for my little introduction to Noctis. I hope it taught you something, and yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Take care.